and make sure everything is good to go on all my different stream things, and then I'm gonna get started. Awesome. I think we're good to go. I need to figure out which stream which stream is talking back to me. Here we go. Okay, it's my Twitch. Okay, cool. So, I'm gonna spend a second just trying to get my live stream out there real quick. Okay, cool. And then I will move on. I really hope that my computer doesn't crash. For sure. Let's see here. Okay. Alright. I think we're good to go on YouTube and LinkedIn. Cool. Cool. Alright. I think we're doing well at the moment. Yep. Fingers crossed we don't crash on this. This is going to be my first episode for just doing a devlog for general like game development stuff, but at the moment we're doing some game art streaming, and just really wanted to show it off on different places and everything, and just have a I don't know, kind of build a community around game dev and stuff a little bit more. So I'm gonna spend a second just posting the link and everything on a few places, and then I'll get started. If you're not acquainted with the game Chaos Cart that I'll be working on, I will show a small demo of what we do. Let me go ahead and bring up the video. Here we go.
This ain't a tailgate party. Another dead, huh? You ever hit a broadside of a barn? Oh, bring 'em and swing. Dang, damn it. Gosh, darn it. Dang, I got nothing. Get off my lawn.
So yeah, basically it's a mix between like a kart racer and a brawler. I'll probably show that again in a little bit, but yeah, basically just it's a kart racer slash smash kart racer game. So yeah, abilities rather than items, and also racing. But yeah, we're trying to just figure out what clicks, and right now we're making more characters for the game, Chaos Cart and everything. So yeah, just gonna be streaming that for a little bit and see how it goes. But yeah, I will be right there. I'm just going to be posting it on a few different places and get started. Hopefully everything is working well. Alright. Yep. Again, fingers crossed that doesn't crash. I'm trying my best to get it on as many places as possible, and there is no guarantees yet that I won't just like my computer just won't crap out on me. I'm really hoping it doesn't though. But yeah, so I'll be showing some ZBrush, some just general game art stuff, and basically making a new character or a character from scratch. This is the first episode for this. Those who don't know who I am, sorry, I'm a little bit just back, but so I am the founder creator of Baka Entertainment, and so we're trying to make games ourselves. Well, we are making games ourselves, as well as trying to put out content to help game developers and new game developers grow and learn how to make games. And so it's kind of, I feel like it's kind of my responsibility as someone who's kind of dipped their toe in industry. And so right now I'm like lead game artist at Sonic Art, as well as I teach as a part-time professor. And any way I can kind of get information out there and yeah, just help out. I really like to if I can. Wonder if my YouTube is working. I think it is. Yeah, I think it's working. Make sure it is. Yes, it is working. Cool. Cool. All right. So yeah, almost done. Doing some self-promotion real quick, and then we'll get started. Just want to get more eyes on this. Have this nice melodic music in the background. Something chill to work with and everything. I just actually stopped working for the day on my my day job for Sonic Arc, making a really fun title. All right. And I think that's it. All right, cool. Yeah, let's get started. Yeah, hopefully we won't have any Discord interruptions and everything, so. Okay, very cool. It looks like everything's running, so I'm just gonna get started, yeah. So, yeah. First off, when I'm making characters, this won't be a full-blown on tutorial. I'm really just trying to get stuff going. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to leave comments in the chat, and I'll try to get back. I'll try to get to you as soon as I can. I do have this little like chat thing for all the different streams and everything. So, yeah, generally I'm just trying to get more content in the game while trying to grow a community around just game development in general. So, but yeah, I think to get started, I usually love creating characters because I'm usually doing the character art as well as the some of the other assets. Using ZBrush first. I love ZBrush. It's a software that's not your typical user-friendly. I guess like people who think about ZBrush and they're kind of beginners, they tend to cringe. But it does grow on you after you kind of understand the UI a little bit better and all that. So let's see here. Okay, yep. And for reference, literally for reference, for my references, I use PureRef. PureRef is something that I believe everyone should have if they're doing art or just need references for their job or their work. PureRef is awesome. You can kind of like scroll in and out and have different, like, so for instance, what I do is I have like, this is my final art that I have for this character, and like here's some like weapons and everything that was in consideration, some prop ideas, some old school art, kind of cool references, and then I have like my actual style guide, like references and everything. So like, how would I want to texture this character? What level of detail would I want these characters to be at? That whole thing is really important to think about when creating characters. But yeah, this is kind of like my final version, and but yeah, so I basically like to start with blocking out different characters, and I definitely learned so much through the years of just how to run that and like how to run that properly, as far as like first steps and like, I guess for beginner artists is kind of intimidating to start, because you don't know, like, if you don't know like the full range of what goes into the game art pipeline, it can be extremely daunting. And yeah, it's something that like I had to wrap around my head like just wrap my brain like for quite a while, just like, okay, what are all the different steps, and like how can I like how much time does it actually take to create all the characters and the assets and everything, and being on teams and being in industry now really kind of told me and showed me like the best ways to go about doing things, and now I give feedback for other artists and really work directly with an art team as the art lead for Sonatic Arc, and I love doing that. I love giving feedback. I love helping other artists, but hopefully this stream won't only be about art in general throughout the different episodes, but specifically these first couple might be. Yeah, I'd love to get some programmer stuff in here and kind of see what we can pull out of a hat. Anyway, without further ado, I'm gonna get started on blocking out this character, and I again use PureRef at the very beginning. Welcome everyone who is just joining us. I'm gonna just get started on blocking stuff out. Look, I've been talking quite a bit, but yeah, feel free to drop a comment on the chat and everything, and say hi. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Love to help anyone that's kind of doing the art process for games, and yeah, it's a great time. But yeah, here I'm using ZBrush, and for references, I'm using PureRef, and I have a wonderful concept artist that who worked on Crash Bandicoot series and Spyro series. Been extremely grateful to have him on our team, and make some really cool character art, and so like I just hope I do it justice, you know. Alright, so first off, I'm gonna definitely reduce the amount of geometry happening here. I want to be able to like maneuver it better and everything. Hey, welcome. Let's go. Yeah. Welcome to the game art currently hangout. I feel kind of weird. I like posted on LinkedIn, and I feel like that's generally like a very business oriented I don't know, kind of social media, but at the same time I feel like a lot of people do value like LinkedIn as a way to network and find other professionals, and it'd be really cool to have people see what we do as game developers and everything. So but yeah, all right. So I will jump back and forth to the chat and then my work and everything. So who knows if I'll get any work done, but I will try my best. All right, so first off, I'm not one for wanting, like I don't have like a reference like tucked away behind the models, but I just basically gonna just shape this some primitives and get this blockout going. I would typically use a base mesh, so like something that would already have some of the shapes going and everything, but in this case I'm going to start from scratch and just try to get all this going. So let's see, I don't even worry about I don't worry about like proportions at first either, so like that's out the window when it comes down to just getting started. So first off, just kind of get this basic shape of this face. It's pretty wide. I love using snake hook tool. If you haven't bought ZBrush and you're a game artist, you should definitely buy ZBrush. I know there's a lot of Blender artists out there, and I do think Blender is picking up. I do really appreciate what Blender's doing. Absolutely. But I still definitely love ZBrush, and I love that it's like not like Adobe where it's always you know, month to month and everything. I love that it's you know, one-time purchase and everything. You can do month to month nowadays, but it's mad cheap. I feel like Maya is definitely pushing my buttons when it comes down to like cost and everything. It's becoming a little bit I don't know, a little outrageous in my opinion. Alright, so with this blockout, I don't really want to spend a whole lot of time on any one thing. I want to get the basic shapes and move with it. So I have the basic head shape. I'm gonna get the basic nose shape. This is a very button nose, so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and try to tuck that a little bit. I'm actually going to go ahead and ping my concept artist and get him on here. Use Blender? Yeah, Blender's pretty solid. Let me give my concept artist a link. "3D." He said he was pretty excited about having his character in 3D. I mean, like, it was like a, combined effort to make this character like a thing, but like just having his art being translated into 3D. I'm sure for a lot of 2D artists who do concept work and everything, or who haven't gotten into 3D, it's kind of a fun thing seeing your work translated like that. I kind of see myself as a translator nowadays as far as like art goes. But then like when it comes down to like, Chaos Kart like design, that's his own. It's its own hardships and different stuff like that. I actually might have a design stream at one point, just kind of show, lift the curtains of like how, design documents are created and all that stuff. So I think that'd be a lot of fun. So yeah, right now I'm just kind of blocking out these shapes. Let's go ahead and get that jawline in there a little bit more. He's a very soft jaw, so I don't want to overdo it. Let's see. Can y'all hear the music okay? Like, is the volume sound good? Want this to be a chill atmosphere. I want to make sure it's not blowing out everyone's ears. If it is, let me know. Alright, yeah, this wide jawline. We got some kind of a low, some Monkey D. Luffy kind of low ears. Like very, very low ears. So I'm gonna go ahead and get some circles in there, get some Dumbo ears going a little bit. Sounds good. Alright, thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you, Scully. Alright, yeah, so we have some almost kind of squared off ears here. Not round, so let's go ahead and make sure that's looking accurate to the concept. Now, I don't really believe that 3D has to be translated exactly one for one with every concept, and maybe concept artists will hate me for saying that, but I think it's true. Like, some things you can't really project properly or proportions. I think this is super good. I think that it's well crafted, so I won't have to just change much, honestly, but yeah, certain things don't translate as well in 3D, and so we might have to adjust a few things, but try our best to stay on point with the concept. So we got very squared out feel, so let's go ahead and pull that, and kind of tuck this in a little bit more. Welcome to the stream, y'all. Appreciate you joining. To be of help to game developers who are just making their own stuff, and indie developers, or people just trying to do more with their games and their game art. Just for funsies, I am going to, well, let's go ahead and pull this forehead out. This is looking kind of silly. It's kind of like this kind of up here. Like, heads in general, they usually kind of do this a little bit, right? Like, no one's head's just going to be like flat like a box. You can do that if you're doing very stylized kind of boxy characters, but that's generally not a good thing to do. So just as a heads up to that. All right, let's see here. Sure, everything's moving. Cool, everything's moving along just fine. Awesome. Appreciate you hanging out with me, Scully. It's a fun online name. Could start blocking out some of these hair pieces really easily, or at least just simply, I guess. And I'm gonna split on a mask to make that a separate piece. Yeah, so I basically been doing game art for roughly a decade now. Finished my master's not too long ago, and am now a lead game artist for an indie studio. And I've been very blessed to have talented developers around me that, you know, we can all help each other grow and everything. And I just want to show some love back. I think it's important to return some good karma. It's after a character from the X-Files. Okay, that's fun. Did you like the X-Files, that series that you watched? I think I may have seen a little bit of X-Files, but it's been a minute. It's been a good minute. I assume you do if you, but I mean, it's also kind of a fun name. So, but I would assume you watch it if you name your account after that. All right, yeah. So I have a little eye, these eye zones here. Kind of just creating this like natural slope in this forehead kind of zone. There's even if the character, like I'm doing this character here, like the goggles are honestly most of the head, right? Other than the hair, so you're not really seeing a lot of face. However, if he forever instantly like whatever goes and like pulls his goggles up and everything, that's kind of, you know. You have to kind of plan for different animations that happen. If you just know that things will never move, then like don't worry about making the face. But I like making the face just in case we have some fun animations, or say if you see the eyes behind the goggle lenses and everything. I think it's important to kind of like think about those kind of details in advance. So for Chaos Kart, we're going for something a little bit more simple. Like my last character Bucky was not simple enough, but you know, it was just way more higher resolution than I wanted to do, and way more like realistic proportions. I'm very happy with the result of Bucky, but I don't think that the style should be that serious and that much realistic. For those again who are just coming in, I wanted to show this clip again, just kind of reiterate what game we're working on. My most recent work for Chaos Kart. This is Bucky, by the way. We have Bucky fighting Malboy and some fun voice lines. Just like shotgun and a tow hook. Rang him and swing him. So this is what we're building. I got knocked. Awesome. So yeah, shout out Eli Harris for voice acting Bucky. Love his work. Absolutely amazing. We're going to be having some full voice acting for Malboy here soon. I'm super excited about that. Can't wait to hit them up and let them know we can start doing some voice acting finally. I think I contacted the Malboy voice actor, like, I think I talked to her maybe like a year ago, maybe more, and got her hyped up for the character, and then just like, oh, actually, we need to plan our voice lines a lot better, like around the mechanics, and made her wait for like way too long. So I hope she's still down. I know I hit her up maybe like a month ago just to, hey, you still good to go on Malapoi? So no, hopefully everything is still kosher. But I know I think she's been in an maybe an anime or like some kind of game, I think, like some kind of anime game, I think, as one of the voice actresses, and I'm super excited about her work. Scully, preparing just in case. How do you do eyeballs? I struggle with that part. The few times I tried it. I can show you, actually. I'll go and show you now. Get off my lawn's yeah, I love the get off my lawn. It's so classic for a character like that. I just had to implement it, and he's kind of like a, you know, kind of like a redneck character with some conspiracy fun lines and everything. Nothing specific, just kind of having fun with it. But yeah, let me show you how I do eyes. So first off, I grab like a sphere. You could do this in Maya too. It's looking really goofy, I know. I'll try to grab the sphere actually. Just have it at a basic shape. And we'll go with these kind of verts. So I'm kind of like tucking the eyes in at first. And like this, the eyes need to be a little bit lower. This is a kind of a cutesier character, not a serious character. So like right now it doesn't match the style. So if I have them kind of down here, that feels a lot more like a younger kind of character. I'm gonna go ahead and split unmasked and push this face right now because it's looking like an alien. And I think this is one problem that a lot of new artists kind of have is kind of being okay with the ugly for a little while. Like it is difficult to be like, oh my gosh, this looks so bad. Like you have to embrace the ugly for a while. Like this looks like a crazy looking alien thing right now, but it'll turn into something nice. So see right here, kind of like creating this natural cheek shape and just kind of pushing it in, but still keeping this like nose zone a little bit, right? Just kind of creating this kind of cavity zone. And then the eyes are their own little section. So the eyes are now like a separate mesh over here, and I'll show you what I do with those. So I'm gonna go ahead and duplicate the eyes. I'm gonna drop my visibility on my layers real quick. Duplicate these eyes and try this. So I can go in ZModeler and yeah, I'm just gonna be drawing these, and you know, this can be done in Maya too. This can be done in any software, Blender, right? Basically, just duplicate the eyes and then delete these middle bits, and then you have the eyelids. So I'm gonna go on delete. I think that was actually the thing, I think. Polygroup all. There we go. So check that out. So now you have the basics of your eyes and then your eyelids, just like as a 1-for-1, right? And then now I can extrude these eyelids. Just kind of give them some thickness. So let's go ahead and do Q mesh polygroup all. There we go. Or I can push them in like this as well. And if you have any kind of flip normals in ZBrush, you can just go over here to display properties and flip. Right. So I'm going to hide this real quick and then turn off perspective. I'm going to clip curve this area here. And same thing here. Clip curve that. Nice and clean. And now I might need to inflate these a bit. So let's get those eyes back. There we are. And so maybe the eyes are just too big. I can probably just bring the eyes down. And there we go. Now we have some pretty clean eyelids, and yeah, let's gonna be solid, I think. So, oh, thank you. Let's see how other 3D models look in the eyes. So they have their kind of eyelids here, and they're tucked around the corners, and so that's something that I also want to do, right? So let's go and try to match that. I'm gonna go ahead and mask this off. And for the eyelids, because the eyelids aren't gonna move, right? It's gonna be, well, the front of the eyelids will, but not the main eyelids. Let's go ahead and just kind of tuck this. And you may not want to add thickness until you've done this movement, just so that there's less geometry to work with, to not mess up. All right, and then I'm gonna do the same thing with this top part. The rule of thumb here is usually that, like, this top area, you want to keep it a little bit higher, so you actually want to bring the lower part up to the top part, something like that. And then this part is kind of like the opposite, right? So it's more like this. Love the saxophone. That looks quite angry. But yeah, so this is kind of how you created eyelids that gives it a lot more. Because before, when I made characters, I actually would forget about the eyelids very often, and it looks like that. I would kind of like forget to create them, but it's really nice if you can like extract eyelids from the eyes as so that you can blink, your characters can blink. It's important. Make sure you do it. But yeah, this is kind of just a series of developing Chaos Kart and really kind of just getting Chaos Kart out there and just see what everyone else is up to. I want to like see what other people's games are, are shaping up to be, and love to see what y'all are working on. Maybe I can eventually have some other game devs stream or even do little devlog interviews, stuff like that. That'd be fun. What they're doing on their games. I think it'd be a good time. I'm not too worried about any kind of completion for this part, because this is going to be very hidden anyway, but also I'm going to make it high res. This is not going to stay this low res for too long. One thing I will do right now, though, is this new technique that I have been using, where I'll crease polygroup, which is over in the geometry tab and crease section. So crease polygroup, and then I'm going to use the dynamic tool, which is right here, dynamic subdivisions. Bring the smooth up to maybe 6, and then bring the crease level to about 3. And see how it has a nice bevel here? Feels pretty good. I'm gonna try 2. That's even better. I think 2 is the sweet spot for this one. Awesome. And so the cool thing about dynamic subdivision is it doesn't actually subdivide. It's just a preview of subdivision. So it only looks like it's high resolution, but it's not actually full high resolution, which is cool. Yeah, awesome. Let's see. Alright, so I'm just subdividing this a couple times, and so we have kind of more sculpting zone and everything. But yeah, I like kind of seeing how they did their face here, so I can kind of just utilize this as a reference. And you don't want to stay in high resolution too long, so I'm gonna kind of go between subdivisions here a little bit. Yeah, kind of see how this tucked and then it kind of has this extra fold where the eyelid is. I'm gonna pull this up a little bit. Yeah, you apply the preview, Yeah, yeah, totally. So, it's like right now, the eyelid is still low, even though it doesn't look low. It is still low, and so if I like smoothed it, it would totally crank. So like if I like moved it, but yeah, like right now there's no subdivisions. But if I apply subdivisions, then now there really is high resolution. Kind of see how it gridded more. That's because it was preview before, and now it's no longer a preview. So, but now that means it's gonna be like what, like a million, whatever. So I actually want to reduce these. But it is cool to not do this until the very end, unless you're like gonna be dynamashing everything together. Yeah. So, because yeah, as a preview, it's super light. Now I'm like, you know, really fast. Whereas like if I start getting bogged down by millions of polygons, it might chug. And I do have a good amount of graphics card capability, but or not graphics card capability, but RAM. But yeah, I still don't want to do too much. All right, so I'm gonna pull this up a bit. I think that was a little bit too low. And pull the eye up a little bit, which means I need to round this out a little bit more. Awesome. That's feeling better. I'm actually gonna subdivide the eye so it doesn't look so boxy. All right, cool. Now before I get too caught up in the weeds, I'm going to go ahead and delete higher for that. But yeah, I feel like generally the faces starting to look good. A lot of this face is going to be, you know, like, again, like tucked away in the goggles and everything, so we're not too worried about it. Got a kind of a big forehead. Yeah, it's a fun little guy. So I'm gonna make it a little bit more boxy. Let's go ahead and add that perspective again. A little bit more boxy here. Oh, thank you. Yeah, without the eyelids, it looks more alien. And my first character, so Malaboy, actually didn't have eyelids at first, and I had to like add them in post because it just looked too weird. I didn't catch it because I was quite a noob back then. Maybe my first Chaos Card character, and I still like a lot of what I did back then, but definitely have some faster ways. Anyway, this character has, let's look up the proportions. So we have pretty decent sized forehead compared to the rest of the head. So I'm actually going to raise up a little bit. All of this can be hidden with hair anyway. So that feels pretty good. Here's the hair itself. Cool. All right. So I'm gonna start actually looking at. I think this is the goggles that I like the most, so I'm actually going to start blocking out the goggles. So let's go ahead and pull these out. Looks really goofy at first. I'll turn off perspective just for right now. There we go. I'm going to split unmasked so it's not attached to it, and pull it back. That's just the IMM tool, where I'm kind of like pulling shapes from my current shapes. Alright, these are definitely larger. Let's make them big. This is a big part of his personality. Well, his prop, I guess. And theme. Oh, what's it trying to do? Alright, and I'm basically just blocking these zones out. I'm not going to be adding detail just yet. But I will be adding some for the hair. So let's make the hair real quick. I'm basically just going to use this appendage tool for these hair pieces. Which also means, because there's not a lot of symmetry happening, except for maybe in the back, that I need to turn off symmetry. Bring those eyeballs back. There we go. So yeah, this is like kind of like the grooming phase. Normally I do like to kind of block out the character, like the full like body and stuff like that quickly. But I feel like to make this feel better earlier and everything and not look super silly for a long period of time, I would like to just kind of have this blocked out, like the actual face itself and like hair and everything. So alright, so we have kind of like a down sweep actually. I want to keep it as accurate as possible with the reference art here. You have kind of like this down sweep that's above the eye, so this is not this low. Oh, thanks for the heads up. Yeah, it's kind of just like cycling between different different music tracks and everything, so there might be a gap between certain ones, like especially if they're quiet. I appreciate the heads up. Okay, so it's looking better. So kind of like there's like this cut here, which actually I can create with this. So this part can actually go up here and be tucked like that. Right, we're kind of just manipulating the shape here to create this little piece. And then it kind of pulls up into this a bit, like that. There we go. And we'll have, so this is kind of flatter on this side and then rounder on this side. So I want to go ahead and get that flow going. So I might have a little bit of movement here. Let's see how it's feeling. The duck is around on the cheek, which is currently is. That's good. Let's go and make this face look good for right now. Do you plan on rigging the animating the hair? Good question. Sort of. I'm actually gonna make the hair separate pieces, and I want them to kind of move around with the wind. And so, like, this is such fun hair. I don't want it to just be stiff. And for the old characters, they did have kind of rig stuff going. But like I think this one could be like physics, you know, done with physics, where like certain vertices are affected by direction. So I'm gonna have like a gradient fall off at the tips of these different hair cones in game, kind of like a cloth sim sort of like thing in game. I think that's kind of how I want to run Chaos Cart characters from now on. Just that way we're not having tons of extra bones for the rig and a lot of extra work for the animators, right? That's kind of like, I want to just kind of have like a light simming of hair moving in whatever direction that character is going without all the extra groundwork. Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, so I think that Talk will be the first character that actually will have that pull that off that way, you know. So that's the hope anyway. I'm gonna go ahead and split this off. I'm gonna go ahead and just duplicate this cone, but I want each cone to be a unique color because it's easier to manipulate with their different colors. Make this smaller, something like that. Welcome to the stream. Feel free to ask any questions you'd like. Currently working on my game Chaos Cart. I think it's been how long have I been streaming? it's been a minute. I'll go ahead and play that video again so people can kind of know again what we're working on.
Watch yourself.
So yeah, this is our last character, Bucky, who just got some animations going. So he has shotgun, he got his tow hook. There's definitely some bugs, and but yeah, we're getting there. It's got some sound effects, some VFX, some voice lines. Super happy with the results so far. Get off my lawn. Indeed. So funny story. We had to redo Malboy's voice lines so many times because initially he had kind of like more generic voice lines, and then I did a full rework of his voice lines to make him more sound like a gamer, which didn't really fit his theme. He's kind of more of like a bully kind of sort of like in character. He maybe has some gamer aspects to him, but yeah, I kind of want to be like a tough punk kid in a way. And but the problem is he ended up seeing like his voice lines were actually super trolly and annoying, and I don't really want a character's like default state to just be like, please turn off the voice lines. And I think that'd be, I don't want my voice actors and actresses to cringe when they're recording the voice lines. So I actually had to redo Malboy's voice lines like 3 times and get some help from my sister and everything to get some narrative going. And because yeah, they were editor for quite a while, and helped me out a little bit with that. So I was very grateful for that. But I didn't realize how absolutely trolly it sounded until I'm like, oh, I probably put 5 too many puns and just stupid voice lines in there, in every single leet speech thing you could think of. Like, even if you're a gamer, you're probably like, please turn this off. Don't want that. Alright, so now that these are separate colors, I can actually easily manipulate either one. So like right now, they move as one, and I don't really want that. I want to be able to like edit these individually, which is the cool thing about blocking this stuff out. So actually, if I press W and can hold Control and click, it automatically masks the opposite one, and so I can just manipulate this one now, and I could even like pull this into this, and it will not affect the green at all. Right? The masking is super strong in ZBrush. So yeah, if I only want to focus on this one, and maybe this is a little bit thicker toward the middle right here, let's go ahead and thicken that out, and I have no concerns about editing the blue on accident. Actually found a new way to retopologize hair, and oh my gosh, it's fantastic. It's like doing it faster using ZBrush automatic tools, and they did a pretty good job just making it down-resed and clean loops and everything now. Their automatic tools are really kicking butt, so pretty happy about that. Very cool. Got a few notifications from one of the artists on my team, just showing some of their work, which unfortunately I'm not allowed to show yet. We can't. Oh, okay, cool. Whoop, whoop. All right, cool. Back to it. Awesome. All right, yeah. So, but yeah, some of the automatic tools for ZBrush are getting fantastic, and so I actually can utilize those. And it even has this new thing where if they're different colors, then they'll automatically generate separate lower meshes for those different colors. So they made it even more efficient. So, what up, Charmy? Welcome, welcome. All right, Charmista. Yeah, I'm working on Talk at the moment. So this is Michael's character and everything that he had designed a while back, and it has gone through multiple iterations. This is the newest iteration for Talk from an amazing artist that we've been working with. And I'm not sure if he wants me to reveal his name just yet. So, but anyway, he worked on Crash Bandicoot, and he worked on the Spyro series, both. So I'm really happy to be working with him, absolutely. So, but yeah, this is his amazing work, and I really hope I can do it justice. So, all right, looks like this hair strand area, it's kind of like cone, goes into the eye zone. So I think I'm gonna do that too. So let's go ahead and pull this down some. There we go. Welcome to the stream. But yeah, I'm hoping to kind of be like a free resource for upcoming game artists and stuff like that. I really love to do game art. I've been doing game art literally all day today, as some people can let you know. And I'm doing game art now because I want to just, you know, help anyone that needs help and also work on my game. So let's see, double plus. Although I'm really worried that my computer's gonna die in a fire because it I'm streaming to multiple different places for the first time, and we'll see what happens. Oh, yes, yep. Charmy knows that I've been working on game art stuff. I love game dev. I love game dev more than playing games, and this is all I want to do. Of course, I want to play games once in a while, but, you know. I think being a game tester for a little bit, I just, like, kind of drained me a little bit of when I play games. I like building them. Yeah, I think it'd be cool to kind of make a community around game dev stuff, you know, and help people not be in as much student debt as I got into for learning what they want to learn. There are a lot of resources on Udemy, and definitely recommend just getting tutorials and everything, but yeah, this is kind of what I do, and I like to help people out. Let's see, I think this needs to be down a little bit more. And if I duplicate this one, I can make this slope, so I think I will. I think I'll duplicate it. And then to make a new color in ZBrush, it is just... So I'm going to pop that here. It's not perfect yet, but I'll make it look good in a second. Yeah, so basically I want to only mask what I want to change to a different color. So to do that from this, I hold Control and tap. And see, not only this back piece, the new piece, is masked. Now I can press Control W and make it a new color. And so now I can, again, only edit these. And if I want to, like, me shifting to these without having to, like, do some weird masking stuff, is just yeah, sorry, I do it second nature sometimes, so I actually need to think about it actively. But I hold Control and I just tap. Alternatively, if you want to go to a different, like, subtool, you hold Alt and tap. And that will help you kind of jump around subtools without having to, like, go through your whole library of subtools. And it gets pretty hectic after a while. So anyway, so now I've made my new color. I'm gonna go ahead and isolate with Control Tap. And if it's not working, it's because you don't have your widget out. So press W to get your widget out and then do it. If if I press Control Tap right now, it literally will just start drawing a mask and it won't work. So Control Tap, make sure your widget's out, and then you can get rid of your widget by pressing Q. So, all right, now I'm gonna make this next slope. But yeah, I really want to get more headway on Chaos Kart. I feel like I don't know, been so busy with other work and everything that I really wanted to kind of get more done with Chaos Kart. We actually got some publisher interest recently, and I'm like, I gotta step it up a little bit. Gotta get some more work done on it. We need a game loop and a bunch of stuff. So, but at least the new character Bucky is looking and feeling pretty solid now. We still need to like do like 2 attacks for him and add some reactions and that kind of stuff. But ultimately, he's shaping up. I think having kind of like a powder angry animation or a happy animation for win and lose state of the race would be really fun for each of the racers, or probably necessary. All right, so we have we got kind of like 2 loops over here. So I'm gonna actually make another one around this crown zone. Make it a little smaller. We'll tuck it over here. This will be our kind of crown area, right? Like the hair needs flow, so I'm kind of giving it flow, and we'll actually pull this so it actually kind of has this kind of crease zone sort of thing. Alright, make this a different color. Sweet. Alright, so now we have some crazy pride hair. Alright, cool. So we'll probably do a little bit of symmetry in the back, because it won't be... but you don't want to do full symmetry in the back. It'll look too samey, too simple. But I do want to have a little bit of symmetry in the back. So this goes to the eye, which it will be when we have the goggles out. If I turn the goggles on right now, you can see that it's mimicking the picture. Pretty close. Go ahead and bring these goggles in a little bit more. There we go. Dope. All right. This part's chunkier, I think. So I'm actually gonna just pull this out a bit. Maybe give it a little bit of inflation like that, like our current. I'm just kidding. Give a little bit of inflation. Let's not go there. All right. So I'm gonna pull down the stake hook tool. Inflated gas prices. It's gotten so heavy, I just stay home and it works. The best thing to do with heavy gas prices is just never leave your house and stay remote. Fantastic. Alright, so I'm gonna duplicate this big piece and kind of pull it down here. And this kind of mimics this zone. So I'm actually going to pull it away. So it's not like a 1-for-1 mimic, just kind of lowered. I'm actually going to have it pop here. So it kind of swishes up. So I actually need to really give it some torque here. And it is getting hot up here in Washington. Anyone who, even if you live in the heavy northwest right now, like I do, it is still scalding hot. I know I can't say anything. I used to be from Florida. I can't say much. I'm sure they're hurting more, but holy cow. I'm not used to this anymore. I'm gonna tame this one a little bit. Let's go ahead and pull this back just a tad. Okay, that's looking better. Awesome. Okay. Destinations. So we jump out of that. Okay, cool. Cool. Skull, if you're still here, how are you doing? How's it going today? We're just duplicating this over again, kind of making this kind of cool sway here. Okay. Just gonna do like a general bolting, I guess, of the hair. It goes looking a little bit too from the side. It's looking at too like acute, I guess. So I want to kind of make it a little bit wider, a little bit back and front more. Alright, so now with the back zone, I can really kind of, I can do a little bit of symmetry here. We don't need everything to be, of course I'll calm it down, but I want to just at least have, like, Blockout in the back. A little bit. I think I'll, at least maybe just for, like, the side back here, so like behind the ears. And then see like the hair kind of hits past the like into the neck a little bit, so let's make sure it does that. So I'm going to, so hair kind of goes around the ears a little bit like this. Of course you're not going to see this because of the goggles, but I still want to build this out. Okay. It's getting there. It's getting there. Especially from the front. I feel like it's starting to look like him from the front a bit. Alright, I think I'm going to do one more duplication of this. Let's go ahead and change the color of that real fast so it's its own color. Cool. So now I'm going to duplicate this and kind of tuck it a bit like this. And then add a little bit more flare. So like right here we have some flare going. So maybe have it like Ash Ketchum style flare out here. Right. Gotta catch them all, you know? I guess I'm wearing a Pokemon hat. I completely forgot. Thank you. Thank you, Scully. Yeah, I feel like I'm making some solid headway relatively quickly. I don't remember, or I don't know how long the stream has been going, but I feel like we're getting there pretty quick. We almost had the whole head blocked out already. I think it's been less than an hour. So anyway, this is how I make characters. So I like to kind of work quickly, work a little bit dirtier. I guess, like, I don't know about dirty, but just like I don't dig into details right away, which I feel like saves me a lot of time. But I do kind of want to have it generally the good shape, but doesn't have to be perfect right away. We have some hoppers here. We have got some little jumpies, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I think I said hopper because I've just been watching a bunch of Stranger Things. Like I just caught up on Stranger Things and it got intense. Jeez. I will not spoil, don't worry. I won't say anything. Anyone who's watching Stranger Things, you will not be spoiled from me. Except, just kidding. Just kidding. Alright, I feel like it's not that tucked away. I need to like shrink this down a little bit. Yeah, it has this like slope, right? And then this ends a bit sooner, like sort of like here. Something like this. There we go. Destinations. Awesome. So yeah, now this is it gives a little bit more visibility for this. Going to change the color for here. Cool. Got a little flyaway here. And then we'll do one more small flyaway just to mimic the concept art for right now. I might reduce that, but we'll see. Still want to add it for now. This one's going the opposite direction, so I needed to loop it around here. And it's a bit smaller, of course. It's looking rather small, relatively. Let's go ahead and and for this I'm just literally just smoothing it, and that's kind of what makes it kind of shrink like that. Just holding shift. This kind of character is kind of like a mid-poly character. Of course, this is not the resolution I'll be using, but In general, it will be a mid-poly character, so like not like Minecraft and not like Horizon Zero Dawn, right? It's kind of somewhere in between. Wow, this is coming directly from the crown. Sweet, I think that'll do for right now, at least for the... I feel like the silhouette is pretty there. Now, looks like I need to raise this up a little bit, though. Got a little bald spot over in this section. Let's go ahead and pop that up. Don't want any bald spot on talk. He's too cool for that. It's kind of like that second. So there's like this one, and there's like that kind of spike. Trying to make that little spike. That feels pretty good. All right. I'm gonna turn off symmetry for now. So a lot of times in stylized stuff, less is more. I'm not trying to overcook this, right? Let's get in and get out as far as adding pieces and everything. I think it's pretty important to kind of think about that. It's very easy to overdo stylized work. But if you look at any Nintendo thing ever, it's so simple. Just it's well done but simple, and that I don't know. It's like simple high quality, and I feel like that's gold. When it comes down to stylized, when it comes down to indie, I think it's important to act like indie when you're in the indie space. Like, if you don't have as much resources as a bigger company, then it's important to like choose your style accordingly. As we're trying to get at, don't make it so high res that it takes a whole month to make a character, and then like, oh cool, I have a character now. Now to make 12 characters can take me a year, and I'm never getting this game out ever in my lifetime. Right? So I think it's important to kind of think about that in advance. That like, and I really need to make sure that I can get a game out in a timely manner. Those who watch Thomas Brush, he's a good reference for a lot of this stuff. And hopefully I will be soon too. I'm wondering if I should add symmetry to this bottom part. I feel like it looks okay, but I am worried about it looking too samey. But it might be fine because it's stylized and it doesn't matter that much. And here, this middle part, I'm just going to add an inflate, so they kind of mash into each other. I'm just going to inflate this part too. I feel like because of this asymmetry that's happening here, it kind of like looks fine, I guess. Like, I feel like it makes the rest of this part look good in the back. In my opinion anyway, I think it does. Let's have that cover that part. Have some really fun kind of hair back here. Yeah, welcome to the stream. Just making some game art. I'll go ahead and copy this one, and I'm gonna make this extra flyaway over here. Of course, it's gonna be much more small and simple than this current one, So I'm going to scale this way, way down, stretch it out, kind of pop it in there. And we'll have this kind of be a little bit behind it, like maybe like right here, and maybe coming from like here. So I still want it to be seen. Just make it just kind of a longer strand, long skinny strand here. But this is like on the verge of overdoing it, and I don't want to be overdoing it. So I actually may not use this, but we'll see. Looks fine right now. And this one more right here, but it's like a smaller one that's kind of tucked in. It's like it's still coming from, a lot of these are coming from the crown zone, but I want this kind of, it's more tucked away here, so there's not kind of this weird open spot this area as much. There we go. And this part kind of comes from up. Like it's like here. There we go. Awesome. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Welcome, Luke. Welcome. Chaos cart. Woo woo. So I noticed that for some reason yeah, it's so weird. Okay, yeah, for some reason it's not showing me everything, all the chat and everything from my YouTube, so I need to like jump back and forth a little bit. Make sure, just want to make sure it is, so I can see everything. Yeah, welcome Luke. Chaos Cart. So yeah, this is the newest character we're gonna be adding talk, and you've gone over some definite some revisions and everything, but I think we have a pretty solid character now. Alright, so yeah, I think the blockout's turning out pretty solid. I'm going to start breaking down the, let's see, I'll work on the nose just a little bit more. Kind of get it to where it's supposed to be. I think I should have put on streamer mode. Let's see. Can I do that now? Streamer mode. Enable streamer mode. I'm gonna turn that off for right now. Okay, cool. Back to it. Oh, yeah, welcome. welcome. I was like, is someone contacting me or what is that? But welcome. Yeah, working on Chaos Cart. Oh, yeah, Luke, if you have not seen it yet, I will show you the newest update for Chaos Cart, actually. I've been showing it kind of like somewhat frequently on here. Check it out.
Watch yourself.
Got Bucky in game now.
This
Woo!
ain't a tailgating party.
This ain't a tailgating party. No.
Another dead, huh? You ever hit a broadside of a barn?
So definitely got some bugs, but like that, the hook bug for sure. But we're getting it.
Gosh, darn it.
Got some knockaways. He's standing up in his truck now. Got some animations. Get off my lawn, indeed. If I want to make a Stardew Valley-like game, which engine? That's a good question. I feel like I'm assuming it's pronounced Godot. I've heard about it a little bit, but I would go after, especially if you're a newer developer, go after what has more documentation. I've watched so many tutorials on like Unreal and all that kind of stuff, and I feel like I needed to because I needed to have documentation. I needed to kind of know how to do stuff, and like the more knowledge that is out there, like I could like, okay, how do I do splines in Unreal? So I'm in Unreal. How do I do material, that kind of stuff. So I would go to something that is a little more mainstream, at least at first. If you like Godot for a different reason, then like if you think that it has some cool features, or helps you out with, but there's so many different like free things. So nice so far, pretty good. Oh, thank you, thanks, Luke. But yeah, I definitely would suggest Unity if you're going to go for Unity or Godot. I'm a big advocate of Unreal just because I am an artist and I love the way Unreal looks with my art. But I think I have been using Unity on my day job, and would suggest Unity over something that's more maybe newer or less polished, like Godot probably would be. I need to do more research, so I'm sorry if I don't have a direct answer for you. But if you like Godot for whatever reason, and you think it would be solid, then for sure, like, I don't want to stop you from doing Godot. I'm sure there are sites, and the people that made the engine itself probably have some cool things to show off. But I would do Unity. I've been making games for probably a good part of the decade, maybe more. And I've used Unreal, Unity. I've used Pygame and a couple different ones I don't want to ever use again. And yeah, Pygame was a nightmare. All right, let me make these this in between here. This is a cool little tool. Appreciate that, Luke. Yeah, I agree. I that's what I'm kind of thinking too. Yeah. Check this out. So if you're using the ZModeler, and I can actually make a quick insert edge loop here, and then so I'm gonna be making this bridge, by the way. I can kind of just paint here, like into paint. By the way, I can paint faces openly with ZModeler tool with Alt. So if I hold Alt, then I can actually paint faces, and it will affect only those faces when I'm like doing an extrude or that kind of stuff. So I'm trying to affect this inside, and it's kind of like down and back a little bit. So likely will be this square that I wanted to kind of bridge over. So I'm actually going to hover over this face, hold spacebar, and do, it would be maybe extrude on a lot of them, but I'm going to do bridge 2 polys. And I click that one and tap this one, and bam, you have this fun bridge. It's a bit bent, so let's go ahead and hover over the edge, insert, and then I can, oh, let me insert again. I can mask this middle part and pull it up a bit. Before that, I'm going to turn on perspective, and if I want to make sure it's right in the middle, I can do mirror and weld. See how I kind of did that 3 thing? It's not what I want. I'm going to mirror first and then mirror and weld. There we go. So now I have that cool little piece right there. And of course, I don't want that sharp, but for right now, it looks fine. I want to have maybe like 3 edge loops there, just something to, yeah, something to work with, like some more of a bend. My goal, I really want to get to, I really want to get to 3K subs soon on my YouTube. Anyone, please feel free to subscribe if you like my content. I'm hoping to stream more often for sure. If I can, I would like to do daily, but there's so much in life that happens, so I'll try my best. Alright, this kind of pulls back a bit. So I actually might make a different, yeah, I did it maybe the cube with this one, and then I will solo it out. I think it needs to be bigger. I think maybe these glasses need to be, these goggles need to be even larger. Something like that. Now that middle part's crooked, let's go ahead and mirror and weld. Awesome. Thanks for coming in, guys. Let's see. But yeah, I think Unity would be good relative to Godot. Probably. Alright, so I'm going to do ZModeler on this part. I'm going to make these goggles a little bit. So to do that, I'm going to see if extrude works. Extrude's wanting to extrude like out. I don't really want to extrude out. Let's see. Let's see if I can do an inset. There we go. Inset polygroup. That kind of works. It's still a bit weird on the geometry, so maybe I will just do just a general extrude. And then from that, I will do transpose, polygroup, and now I can pull these in. That's not that small. See about right there. That's pretty good. Alright, and if I want to flatten this, because maybe I don't want to have that thickness, or that kind of like angle, I can go ahead and mask this, reverse mask with Control Tap, and then I can flatten with a scale tool to kind of get that really nice and clean feel. But I actually do want that a little bit, so I want to have it just a small curve. There we go. Alright, now for this, I'm going to extrude polygroup all and push it back. Maybe not that far back. Maybe like that. I'm gonna do transpose, polygroup all again, just so I can like mask everything that's not this polygroup, and then I'm just gonna scale it down a little bit so I can kind of center it, and it'll have that nice, that kind of bevel feel. Right, so rather than having like a harsh 90 degrees straight at the eye, it has this nice beveled in feel, and it kind of, yeah, I feel like that's a lot more friendly, I guess I want to say. Like it's more typical for stylized work. Also, if I want to extrude these faces right here, so like this, if I want to make this bigger, then I can just paint those with Alt, and then automatically it's going to want to extrude usually. But now I need to go into my Q mesh, and that usually works. It's having some snapping error in the middle. It probably doesn't know what to do with it. And there's not a whole lot I can do about that. I think there is a way to avoid that a little bit. Let's see, modifier. If I only pull it out just a little bit, then now I can probably just transpose again. So I can go over this face, transpose, polygroup ball. Okay, it's grabbing that one too, so that's not what I'm looking for. Let's go ahead and paint it again, one more time. Now that'll transpose this the way I'm wanting it to, and I can scale out, push in to kind of make it even. Right about there. Awesome. That's what I'm looking for. If I want to transpose this edge, kind of make that nice bevel too, because I'm actually going to transpose this edge and pull it in. So transpose, and then edge loop complete. Let's go ahead and pop that in a little bit. So here, that creates that outer bevel, kind of more beveled feel. Sort of how these goggles work. And then I will do the same thing on this true edge here. So it's not 90. I want to avoid as many 90-degree harshnesses as possible. I'm gonna do this edge. There we go. That's looking pretty good. That's how I can do some kind of like high poly or like hard surfacey lower poly stuff in ZBrush. It's looking pretty close to what that is, I think. But yeah, for these side pieces, I'm definitely gonna have to like make another thing for that. So let's see here. Go ahead and apply that geometry. I'm going to get into these. Come on, you can do it. There we go. There we go, a little more of a slope here. The same amount for this part. If I hide these goggles, what does I look like currently? Yeah, I feel like that looks pretty solid. The more kind of anime slash kind of like lower res kind of feel like that. I like this a lot. I'm digging this style. The main thing that's missing is eyebrows, I think. Okay. All right, cool. Let's see here. I'm gonna go ahead and split this one off. I'm gonna split my ears off right now, and kind of make that. I can make that divot in here now. So if I just go in here, and the way to make that really clean is I can paint again with my Z modeler. So maybe like something like this. I'm trying to avoid Maya as much as possible right now. Trying to get as much done in ZBrush as I can, and then I just want to push this back. So I'm gonna Q, Here we go. Something like that. See how that looks. So really blocky right now, right? But if I subdivide it a couple times, bam. Clean AF. For the style. Right, so. Turn on the dynamic. Let's see what I can do here. I think it needs to be a little bit bigger. Alright, I think I see the problem. I think I do need to have that lobe, or at least I don't want it to like cut straight into the head that way, or the face. I think that looks bad. So I'm going to go ahead and change that a little bit. So let's see here. So I need to just do less. So I can revert and then just paint this in and then go with this. Bring that in, right? There we go. Better. So bigger. I'm gonna push it back a little bit. Rotate a little bit. Sweet. Nice and stylized. Very much like a Nintendo kind of like feel for this. Alright, so we're kind of working on this nose a little bit. I think I need to make it turned up a little more and then pushed in. I need the goggles for this. I need to be able to gauge off the goggles. So so it kind of hangs right below the goggles. So let's say like right around here. And then there's like a peak down here. I'm very shocked my computer has not just completely crashed on me with how much I've got going on right now. Software-wise. Go a little bit wider. I'm gonna actually like planar this some. See how that looks. I don't want it to look like a pig. I'm gonna avoid that. Let's see how anime I can make it look. There we go. Quite anime. Awesome. All right. Good stuff. All right. Yeah, those of you popping in recently, you can check out. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, you can check out this new video of like some gameplay. I've been showing that kind of like sub often, I guess, in this. Check it out.
Watch yourself. This ain't a tailgating party. Another dead, huh? You ever hit a broadside of a barn?
So yeah, this is like Bucky and Malboy fighting together. Some of the new animations, voice lines, the sound effects, visual effects.
Gosh, darn it. Dang, I got nothing.
now. Yeah, it's starting to shape up. We definitely need to start incorporating more like actual game loop and the race part of it and everything. But that's kind of where we're going. That's where we're heading right now. Is making more characters and getting more interest in the game, kind of building a community. Yeah, just trying to. Yeah, so right now we need more characters with cool, unique mechanics within their own. So like more characters like this will be very welcome. This will be one of this will actually be our first like gun type of character, which I'm super excited about. Super excited about that. It's like we already have like hook character, we have like a melee character, so we really just need like to figure that that out. Like we want to have very mechanically unique characters first, and then we'll kind of diversify from there. So. Alright, so one really cool technique is if you want to make this like look more hard surface from your low poly is like really quickly. This is a fun technique that I learned where you can group by normals. Right here, hold on. Yeah, group by normals basically makes it to where each different face has its own color. So if I group by normals, it does it for the most part. However, it does kind of ignore some of the bevel. Like this bevel is still the same as this. So if I like, yeah, it's not going to work that way. But for the most part, it got most of them. So this is a great way to crease a lot of things at one time. So I'm going to go ahead and crease polygroup. And that went ahead and auto-creased everything that had a nude normal color to it, which is awesome. So now I can do a dynamic subdivision. I'll bring the smoothing up to 6 and the crease level down. And see what, so it was like harsh and a little bit rough, but when I actually bring this smooth level up some, it will have extra subdivisions. And when I bring the crease level down, it softens the hard pinch edges. So it just went from really boxy to like actually awesome looking. Usually it has a 15 on the crease level. You can find this in the geometry tab. So I'm actually gonna bring it down to like around like 3-ish, maybe 4. I like 4. 4 feels it's like a little soft, but it still has its hard edges to it. So I'm gonna keep that, and let's move on. I kind of think it needs to be slightly bigger even then. So like maybe even like here-ish. A little curve here too. A little curve on the nose. I think what's happening is I think I need to make the forehead larger. I think that's kind of what's missing here. Is I think this forehead is larger on this guy, on the concept. So I need to go ahead and just pop this forehead up a little bit, which means I need to maneuver this hair some. Let's go ahead and just give everything. Whoops. Turn off symmetry. Let's give everything a little bit more space, a little bit more height. Awesome. Feels pretty good. Make this a little bit smaller. I hope this stream helps some of you. Those who are looking at doing game art and everything, or just game developers in general that want to learn the game art process. This needs to stay here when it's being smoothed. Oops, I need to turn symmetry back on. So symmetry, and then now I need to pull this back out like here. There we go. There's this little sharp, more sharp zone happening here. I'll stay true as I can to the concept. There we go. These little side things were gonna be a little bit dog ears, a little bit. Just like I just think about dog ears when I'm seeing this. Alright, I'm almost done with the blockout of the face, and I think that will be my first stream. After that, I think that I mostly want to show this part of the pipeline, but I mean, at the same time, I'm kind of just working on my own time. I'm wanting to create my game and try to show where I can. While I'm working on it, I think it's really cool to like live stream game development. It really is like such, I don't know, it feels unattainable sometimes when you kind of just hear about it and or like want to make your own games. It feels unattainable. It feels like such a lofty thing, and I mean it really is lofty for sure. Not everyone has the patience for it. I think that's probably very important to have a lot of patience when you're making games. And you know, find your niche, find your audience, right? It's all pretty important. Alright, I feel like it's getting there. Maybe I'm still lacking some forehead. There's a lot of forehead. Do I have like too much jaw? Yeah, I think that is an issue too. There we go. Just kind of have some more finite details a little bit, as far as like just finessing the shape a bit and kind of feeling it out, making sure it's looking similar to the concept. Got like a kukri knife style hair over here. I actually didn't even know until like today that you could stream on Twitter. That's pretty cool. Perspective mode. Okay. All right. Cool. Okay. All right. Cool. Just make sure that that was working too. Turn off symmetry. Pop this a little bit. Some late night game dev. I think I want to make this one bigger. And this one bigger. Just go ahead and scale that so it kind of feels. Kind of filling out the flow of the hair. Or does it feel like good from the silhouette from different angles? It's like from the side it feels a little bit weird and kind of odd flat here. From this angle it looks fine. But like, how does it look from the side? You know? It's important to kind of like look around. See how your characters look from different angles. I think this hairpiece needs to go in here as well. Like it needs to feel like it's coming from this area, right? That's what I want to do anyway. That's like the maximum amount of hair tubes I want to add because it's going to start looking not stylized as like the style that I want it to be anyway. The more I add, right? Sometimes less is more. But yeah, I've been doing game art since this morning. Since 9 a.m. this morning. And it's almost 9 p.m. now, so I think I will call it a day probably by the end of the hour at most. Need to do some other stuff. But I'm having fun, so. Alright, so for like a strap kind of thing, let me go ahead and go into this head real quick. For like a strap, I can actually just make the strap with topology tool. And I'm gonna go ahead and save real fast. I haven't saved in a minute, so I'm gonna go ahead and save. Alright, so yeah. Go over here, save as. Characters. So I have quite a lot of stuff here. I'm gonna go in here, characters, talk, and I'm going to just have this my blockout phase. It is a high poly, but I'm gonna have it my blockout phase and just do talk new. I was working on talk before, but this is definitely more than the style that I'm looking for. So I'm gonna just be this talk. This is gonna be talk new. Alright, so I can make the neck a little bit. Let's see here. From perspective. There we go. Let me split, unmasked. So one other good thing about doing the dynamic subdivisions is if you do dynamic subdivisions, then you can still extrude stuff because it's not actually high subdivisions just yet. Yeah, if you use ZBrush, you know that that's it can be super annoying. Got a really kind of real thin neck and like a small torso zone. I'm not gonna get into torso today. I guess a little bit off of what I want to, where I want to be. Yeah, starting to look where I want it to be. For right now, a little skinnier. All right, what else do we got? We have, I think this has more of that like Ash Ketchum vibe, so I want to do that whole, oh, I need to turn on symmetry. That's what's happening. I'm gonna bring it down like this and have it kind of, I wonder if in would be best. Like pulling it in this way. Something like this, and then popping it inward like that. Just solo that one hair chunk so I can affect it. Just bring that down a little bit. Let's rein that in. Yeah, I feel like that feels pretty good to me. Where it kind of pulls in toward the neck a bit. Almost have a little bit of sway here. Something like that. There we go. Awesome. All right, let's see here. Just like the sound of rain, but I think it sounds too much like white noise to me. I'm gonna tone that down a bit. Yeah, there we go. I've added the link in chat, or a link in chat, just for the YouTube, if you are not on the YouTube. Yeah. If you want to be on the YouTube thing, comment more. That kind of shows up better for me. There we go. Alright, sweet. Alright, so that strap I was talking about. I'm gonna turn off some dynamic for right now. If I turn it on, it'll just fix itself right away. So I'm gonna show you the strap thing real quick. So like for instance here, so I kind of want to do it off of the actual head. So I'm gonna do this one thing real quick. I'm gonna duplicate the head so it makes this easier, and then I'm gonna turn off my low and solo. All right, so I'm actually gonna make these straps using the topology tool, and just start drawing on the strap. So probably something like this. I can always fix it later, so I'm not too concerned about being super clean. I'm just kind of hatching it here, hatching it here. There we go. I'll add one more there, and then I will extrude it. And so to extrude this from the topology tool, you just tap the mesh that it's being drawn on. And actually, the thickness is based off of the draw size. So if I make it big, this comes big, small comes small. That feels about right here. And I'm going to split mass point so that it's its own thing. And I'm going to go ahead and delete this head. Make sure it's a duplicate of the head and not the first head. You don't want to delete your original head. That would not be good. Alright, so now I have the strap, but the hair's in the way. So I need to mitigate that. Let's go ahead and extrude this out, or just pull it out a bit. So here it is. It always, for some reason, creases the middle. So I'm going to go ahead and do my Z modeler and crease edge loop complete, and then hold Alt and click that so it uncreases it. Alright, and so this strap starts kind of back here where this hair is, so actually it's in a good spot. I was thinking about it needing to touch the goggles, but that's actually wrong. It has this like other kind of more boxy section here that I need to like build out, and would like the screw bit in it, so do that real quick. So I'm actually going to just use a cube for right now and pull it from this here. So only making it on one side, by the way. I don't want to make it on both sides. Mesh. Split. If I make it on both sides, it makes it kind of harder for me to scale it differently. So yeah, that kind of is like a tucked piece. You can tell it's hard surface, but it doesn't have like harsh angles. So we'll have this coming from like, say, here-ish. I'm gonna pull this down a little bit. Oh, yeah, pull it down a little bit like this. How's that looking? It's kind of big, actually. It's kind of a bigger piece. I might have to just kind of tilt it. Might have to be like a tilted piece. Or play with the proportions a tad. So this is kind of what I was talking about with the concept art. Not always, it doesn't always reflect how 3D can work sometimes. And so like in this situation, I might need to just thin it here so I can go into the goggles better, to the round zones. So I did not mean to grab all. Something like this. Alright, I'll do a insert edge loop. Here we go. Maybe two of those. And then I will mask this middle zone and pull this away. Still kind of like fits that circle feel a little bit better. Go ahead and mask this out a little bit more and pull this in a bit more. Maybe I just need to move it like this. Just move it a little bit more manually. There we go. Awesome. That's what I was looking for. How's everyone doing? Doing all right? I think I got maybe 10 more minutes in me. We're almost done blocking out this character though, so I'm super stoked. Just kind of having this much done this quickly on stream as well. Usually I get distracted by the stream chat sometimes, and that can be its own thing. But this has been a smooth day. I feel like I haven't like had to stop for chatting. But kind of fluid still. There we go. Can I just tuck it in there? It's its own piece, right? And I wanted to keep its own piece. And I like this little edge loop that I had that's additional right here. I think that works really well for this zone. It's gonna have like a light bend right before where it tucks in. And then see, like this kind of has a fall down here, so I'm actually going to try to replicate that, like this, kind of beveling a bit. Let's go and see if we can try to copy that a bit. Yeah, I like that feel. I'm gonna have it on the top. Well, the top is kind of more squared out on the picture. But yeah, I really like this kind of bottom bevel. I think that feels pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, the straight on is kind of feeling solid. I think I'll widen this just a tad, and then do that whole mirror weld. Oop. Mirror weld. No. Okay, I need to mask this real quick. No, here we go. Let's make it obvious to one side. So like if I turn off symmetry, I can just pop it like that. And then I can do my mirror and weld. There we go. That fixed it. Awesome. Thank you, Red House Games. Appreciate that. Yeah, we had an awesome concept artist who worked on Spyro series and Crash Bandicoot series, and yeah, I've been really. I really just hope that I can do his work justice. But yeah, real quick, so you can kind of see what we're doing this for. I'll show you our game real quick. Well, the most recent content of our game. I've been kind of showing this semi-frequently for the stream. The newest character, Bucky. The kind of like redneck shotgun, kind of character, really fun tow truck. Just added sound effects in recently and his voice lines. Got his tow hook mechanic that we need to fix up. Maliboy as well. Kind of a very on-the-nose name. Yeah, so that's kind of what we have 3 playable characters right now, and yeah, it's unreal. Love it. Oh, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Yeah, this is an Unreal 5. We just switched over to 5 actually. We were in 4 and we popped over to 5 pretty recently, and it has been a kind of struggle because some things broke when we we transitioned over, but we've been figuring it out. Yeah, it was a little bit of a learning curve, but we've been figuring it out, and yeah. But yeah, so Red House Games, what kind of games do you work on? I feel that. Oh yeah, so you switch over to Unreal 5 as well, or you switch over to like to Unreal from something else? Because Unreal 5 is a little bit different. But yeah, definitely blueprints. It kind of breaks some blueprints and everything, so that can be its own issue. let's see what we got here. We need to tuck in this strap, or tuck in the hair to the strap. So the strap goes over the ear. So we need to either drop the ear a little bit. The ear's already a bit low, but I want to see how it looks here. It feels a little bit too low. So I'm going to bring the hair up some so it kind of matches the concept a little better. Ooh, that's 5-in. Woo! No games currently. I'm working on a plugin. I ported from 4 to 5 recently. The switch to double and floats killed. Oh yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, it was the Red House Games thing. I guess the name of games. But that's cool. You're making plugins for Unreal, or like, are you selling the plugins? I'm assuming, or are you like, are you a tech artist that's creating plugins for your company? I heard some selling plugins can be it's definite it's a game changer for a lot of companies, which is awesome to have that resource, and then also like be pretty profitable. Hope that's going well for you. Yeah, sorry about that's gotta suck though with a 5. Yeah, switching over isn't always clean. Sprout for foliage and asset generation. We're going to sell on the marketplace. Awesome. Very cool. Well, if my stream ever gets larger over time, then maybe I could help promote it. Use it on my game or something and help promote it a bit. That's cool. That's awesome. Should this hair bit be over it? I think it should be over it. So that's a hard question. I went through like video game grad school, and that kind of slowed me down. So I had this game idea maybe 5 years ago, and I really wanted to just be able to pull it off better, and so did a little bit more education, and you know, met some really cool other developers and everything, and but yeah, like I think definitely the past like year and a half, I'd say year and a half has been actually like trying to really get a solid product to like pitch to publishers and like crowdfunding and that kind of stuff. And so far we've had a few sponsors, even from like Mudstack, and kind of like a cool way to store a bunch of files, like gigs and gigs of files and everything, which is really good for developers. And yeah, just kind of but I think that what I'm trying to do now is like stream more. Like I really want to just have like awareness for the game and just like help other game developers. But yeah, I think like I'd say a year and a half. Yeah, long form. But yeah, we have like 3 playable characters, and we're like really trying to do a genre merger between like a like Smash game, like or like even Overwatch or League of Legends mixed with a car racer. So really trying to like do a true merger of those titles. So kind of like a MOBA racer. So rather than shooting the items, each character will have its own unique abilities, as you may have saw from the video. And really trying to run with that idea and feel like we have some like unique racers. So I feel like, yeah, like Mario Kart is a lot of fun and it's a huge inspiration. We're getting a lot of really cool stuff from it, but yeah, like when you change characters, it is mostly a skin swap rather than like there's not really a mechanic thing. Like if Bowser like shot fire left and right or something like that, or and there are games like it that are coming out that have a similar vibe as what I'm trying to pull off, but nothing like exactly the same. You know, that Disney Racer or Speedstorm is probably the closest thing to what I'm doing. And at first I was worried that like my idea would be like jacked, but then like I played the game and it's not the same. But yeah, that's cool though with plugins. Like plugins are super helpful. Like in foliage, anything that can like help manage foliage stuff would be awesome. Thank you, appreciate that. Yeah, kind of going with like a mix of like Smash Bros, Mario Kart, and like Overwatchy kind of feel. Like this is kind of the render style we're going for. A little more like still like stylized PBR. Kind of like chibi PBR. Yeah, so like it's, even though it's using like real physical kind of materials, like you can tell it's like metal and that's like leather and stuff like that, we still want to have this very like small proportion feel to it. So this would be a perfect example of what I want to achieve. This was the old style that we had, so this is the original concept, and this is the old style that we had come up with and everything. But the problem is that the characters were too tucked away, and the cart was just way too large and realistic for the actual game, and it's just too high scope for just a few developers and everything. This would actually be like probably more accurate to what I should have done. but yeah, this kind of just took a long time to do, and I really feel bad to have to redo some of it. But I really want to scope down and like just have everything be a lot more simple, big shape language, that kind of stuff. But yeah, is your tool out already? The Sprout tool, or is it still kind of like to be determined? Do you have an ETA for it if you haven't put it out on market? I'm assuming Unreal Market. I know. Yeah, I was like, okay, if I keep working at the quality level that I'm currently working at, or was currently working at, it was going to take me like a year to come up with like 5 or 6 characters. And I'm like, I would like to come up with a character a month if I can, with models at least. On the market yet, we're hoping to start beta testing within the month. Awesome. Very cool. Well, yeah, feel free to join my Discord server if you'd like, and pop in the link when you're ready for it. If you want to, or let's see here if I can find the link. Here we go. It's Twitch. There you go. Feel free to join and spam it with well, not really spam it, but yeah, like feel free to drop a link to the page. Yeah. Totally. Yeah, we're still pretty small, but I want to help where I can, and I've been in industry for a little bit. I'm currently lead artist for our indie team at my day job, and then I do this in the evenings. So I basically do games all the time. but we're slowly, surely growing. But yeah, I think things like that will help with a lot, with especially with indies where, just painting foliage, it will take less time, that kind of stuff. I actually heard some cool stuff from like Naughty Dog where, they like have this like fun taper to a lot of their foliage where like if they have a tree, they'll have like foliage around the tree that's kind of smaller, that kind of like gradients out, like from like tree to like a bushel or whatever, or like some kind of like smaller foliage type into like grass, so it's kind of like a gradient fall off. And the same thing with like other kind of smaller plants or like flower bushes, or even where they'll kind of like have like the main thing or like the bigger one, and then they'll have like a scaled down one and a scaled down one, or like broken up variant or something like that. So if you could almost like speed tree any kind of foliage patch, that would be dope. That'd save a lot of time. Like instead of it having to be a tree, you could like speed tree anything into like a group and make random groups, types, and stuff like that. Guerrilla Games, yeah. Yep, we're using Niagara. Yep. Yeah, Cascade is getting a little outdated, I think. Like, don't tell the old heads I said that. The people have been in the industry for a while, but yeah, we're using Niagara just to. It takes a lot of time, and there's a lot of awesome nodes you can work with and everything. So, yeah. That's really cool. Yeah, that'd be really awesome. it's so just I don't like I have my chat up because I was too worried about the chat being interrupting my the concept art. Yeah, so what he's saying is, yeah, so Sprout is like Speed Tree plus Niagara. I'm streaming on multiple different places right now, so not everyone's seeing the chat. That's awesome though. Yeah, I wish you luck, and feel free to add me on Discord if you jump into our little Discord community if you want to throw in your link when it's ready. That'd be dope, because I probably would use it. Like any tool. Like I bought a lot of blueprints and things that make things faster. Like I have a awesome spline blueprint that helps me with like road creation for our tracks. That helps so freaking much. So now I can like create splines that are like multiple meshes that are like the track mesh, the wall mesh borders, the like intersection splitters, that kind of stuff. It's all in this like the spline segments, and it's like it saves so much time not having to like go in Maya and individually create a track mesh and move everything around in Maya or something like that. It's amazing having just like that in engine and immediately be able to test it and just start driving on it. Love that feel. So I salute. Yeah, splines are awesome. And I actually recently played Mario Kart again, and like just like Mario Kart 8 and like realized literally how much of the track is just splines. It's so funny. Like I'll have like even a mall segment, and it'll have basically just like a very big wide mall spline that's like the windows and the doors and everything will literally just be on like a loopable spline. It'll just be like so wide that you don't think about it being like samey or whatever. But yeah, there's just a bunch of tileables, and it's really funny. Like, of course there's like breakup bits that make it not so monotonous, but holy cow, they know their stuff, man. It's really cool to see that in, yeah. So I'm not sure. I like these little bobble bits, so I'm going to keep these. I like these a lot. So I think I'm going to just have these. But I think I'm gonna have them fall off this way, similar to how it is on the concept art. It feels pretty cool. I love splines. Yeah, when I figured out how to make like complex splines like that, I was like freaking out and like telling my roommate, telling everyone at work like how legit they are and stuff. It's like, oh my gosh, that's the dopest. It's like, I can do what now? I can automate tracks with multiple meshes. Okay, I think that this is meant to be evenly spaced, so I'm gonna evenly space it. It looked like it was like kind of clustered, like 2, 2, 3. I can't really tell, so I'm just gonna evenly space it, where it's like a, yeah, a little bit more clean. It's true. It's true. Spline evangelist. Someone has to do it. Someone has to tell the masses, hey, you splines, you're messing up. What are you doing if you're not using splines? Yeah, but that's really cool. Could you, I mean, I assume yes, because it's just the same kind of geometry. Because I would probably use what you're making for like rock clusters and like foliage and rock and clutter, like a bunch of things. So I'm not having to like Dark Souls would probably have a heyday with that kind of thing, where it's like, you know, you have just like these masses of multi objects that maybe, I don't know if it can be randomized, that kind of stuff. Yeah, like those kind of things are just so cool. Or if like maybe you need to create multiple clusters and it like randomly displays, or like as you're like painting them on or whatever, then they kind of like randomly choose between like 15 different variants or something. Like, how does that work? I do, for the most part, actually. I actually try my best to I try to avoid Maya as much as possible. I use Maya for like retopology and UVing, but I try to avoid it at all costs. And in fact, I even sometimes try to replace even those things with like 3D coat and stuff. I'm really trying to just not support Maya because of how expensive they are. They're not, like, yes, they have an indie license sort of thing, but it's temporary. And just the fact that they like charge so much kind of makes me angry, I guess. So I try to not support Maya, but I was so indoctrinated to using Maya that it's hard for me not to sometimes. Just going to school and everything, it's kind of what was taught. It's like 3 on the bottom. That feels pretty good. Trying to work. Trying. Working on it after scatter. Yeah. Heck yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like if you want people to support your company and your product, make a affordable product. Like, I know they feel like they're the bee's knees and that they are needed in industry, but Blender will take over if they're not careful. If they don't treat their customers properly and just charge so much. Blender will eventually be like, hey, we remain free, and now we can do all these other cool things that Maya can't do because they're slacking and charging way too much. I very much believe that. Maya better watch his back. But yeah, even this, just like what's happening to me, like, I just prefer not to use Maya as much as possible, and eventually I'll have a replacement for everything that Maya does for me, so. That's feeling pretty solid, I think. Exactly. Yeah, like, what was it? I think it's like $220 a month right now. Like, if you're a freelancer just doing this on the side, I mean, yeah, like, a freelance gig might make you like 500 or whatever, but that time, that's time, right? That's like time taken away each month. That's just so dang expensive. Like, car insurance isn't $220 a month unless you're a bad driver or something, or have some trouble with driving. But like I get it. Yeah, like, they're like, you know, we're industry standard and all that stuff, but holy cow, like, it's not worth that much. It's not that, like, even if you're top tier multi-million dollar company, you know, multi-seat licenses, like, it's insane. We're paying for that as our my main company that I'm working for. It's not a car. They basically cover the costs of it for the artists, and yeah, it's a pain in the butt. It's like thousands a month, or thousands I think it is thousands a month, yeah, for a couple artists, you know, seats and everything. What a freaking waste. Anyway, off my soapbox. That's looking pretty accurate to the sketch. I think this one is bothering me though. It's a little bit too tucked. I want to untuck it a little bit. Like those shirts, untuck them. Okay, it feels decently evenly spaced with the consideration of the nose guard or nose bridge, according to my calculations. Cool. Now I feel the need to mirror and weld. There we go. Woo! Looking dope. I'm gonna go ahead and save this out real quick. Really vibrant this music though. I'm gonna check it out from. Oh, that's not what I tried to do. Go bring that back. I'm gonna BPR real fast and see what it looks like. If it doesn't completely. I'm actually not gonna render it too hard because I don't want my computer to stop working from the stream and rendering. It's not the best idea. Awesome, let's see. I think that's looking pretty solid. I think I want these to go straight up for the most part. So, like, rather than curving in, like, kind of do this. Oops, I need to turn symmetry on. They can curve a little bit, but I don't want it to be so much. Alright, let's try to render from this angle over here. Try on perspective again. I think now there's too much forehead and it's too tall. That's the problem, I think, now. So I tried to fix that, and I think I went too far with it. So I'm gonna actually bring this down a tad. So this kind of like is the same size on the concept, and then it kind of swoops. An aggressive swoop here. This side feels pretty straight, and the side has that curve. It looks really good for 2D doesn't always work. I'm gonna pull this in like this. So this actually goes way down here. So I'm tripping on this. I didn't even think about that. The silhouette for this is way off for this piece. Let's go ahead and fix that right now. That's much better. That's what I'm looking for. It's aggressive. It's almost Elvis levels of aggressive hair movement stuff. We've got Presley Jr. in the house. Sharpen that up a little bit, like that. Round it out here a bit. Make sure there's not a bald spot down here. Kind of just pull this down a little bit. There we go. That feels better. And then this part can be more prominent now. I think this part needs to be kind of like angled out a bit more like that. Yeah, I like that. That feels pretty good. And then this part can be kind of matching the angle a bit more. So go ahead and match. Let's move this. I still want it to be like kind of tucked in where the glass is here, so make sure it's not losing that where it's like touching in here, and then it's kind of just tucked away a little bit. There we go. Making sure the flow of the hair feels good. I know I'm working on the hair a long time, but it's just kind of, it's a big part of the character. Especially this character where it has like a lot of hair and it's like big. Let's see what this looks like. I'm gonna go ahead and add subdivisions. 5, bring the crease down. Looking good. Try on this one. Dynamic. Smooth subdivisions. Crease down like 3. Yeah. Looking good. See what it looks like with the goggles again. Ooh, looks crazy. Alright, that's fine. That's fine. I just want to make sure that the this band was not in the way. So like, let's go ahead and add symmetry. I want to like pull that in. So make sure that just make sure it's not covering the eyes, basically. Cool. Awesome. Alright, I feel like I'm pretty happy with the result from this. Oh, I... yeah, like the bead things. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be a funny alternate skin. Let's see. Well, I'm gonna fix this real quick. I think this a little bit. Let's see. I feel like that is the ears need to stick out more than this thing needs to be pulled in some. It's too extruded away from the head to like make it feel like it's not touching the head that much. And then maybe for like these right here, I can kind of have these like tuck. So if I have like the symmetry on, I can have it look like it's kind of like being pushed in here. Same thing with this one. So kind of add like a little bit of a pop and then a push. It has some kind of like cat hair sort of thing. Yeah, really hoping to get some real nice headway on Chaos Kart this next couple months. So I'll probably be streaming pretty dang often to make that happen. I feel like in a way streaming almost adds a level of like what do you call it? Accountability, I guess. That's probably the right word for it. Sometimes I'm just too tired from my day job and like of like making game art, and then I like don't really want to work on stuff in the evening. But I think that it's cool like having a community and just being able to chat with people while working really does help me like be motivated to keep creating and making more happen. I would love to have this game have a really solid demo. We already have multiplayer functionality kind of running, as you may have seen from the video. But it's at a very kind of a like smaller state, everything. And if you get past like a certain amount of people, then it has some frame rate issues. So a lot to do for sure. UI, all the stuff. So but I think it's such an important thing to have like fun, solid characters. And as a character artist, that's what I love doing. So probably why I made a very character-centric game idea was because I'm a character artist. I'm selfish. Play on my strengths on this one. So yeah, now it's all tucked into this like crease here. Like that looks pretty good. An actual crown kind of feel. Maybe this one could use a little bit of more assistance, like kind of filling in that. There we go. That feels like it works better. This is about it, honestly. Like, I probably will add like a little bit of the mouth thing, but all that like the teeth and stuff come like way later. So to be honest, like I'm really just trying to make the hair feel right, which I think is just starting to now. And now that I have that kind of where I want it, I could start pulling the torso out more. But yeah, I just really wanted to get this part done first. But yeah, so I already had it out of the neck. But yeah, so I'll add like props and torso probably tomorrow. if I can start working on some stuff tomorrow evening, I'll probably stream again and start working on like, well, first off, I'll block out the whole character shape, so like just the rest of the stuff as far as the body goes, and then I'll start building the props around the body. It's a pretty skinny dude, got some like wider legs than stuff like that, but like it kind of scales like a triangle sort of thing. But anyway, yeah. So I'll work on torso and props tomorrow, probably. But honestly, the mouth is literally just like a slash kind of thing right now. So I'll probably keep it that simple. As simple as that. Like, just... I'm gonna butcher the crap out of it. But yeah, like... simple. Let's get a little bit higher. Maybe here. Cha. Not that simple. But yeah, that's kind of the idea. Just like keep that simple. But yeah, right now I'm not gonna worry about the mouth. And but yeah, I think I'm gonna call this a day. It's 9:30. I've been working on game art for over 12 hours. But yeah, it was cool. Cool chatting with you. And hopefully your hopefully Sprout does well, and feel free to, like, you know, jump on Discord and throw that link when Sprout's ready, or hang out with me again on another stream. But yeah, so I think tomorrow or Friday at the very latest I will stream again and start adding the actual body and stuff like that. So if you're interested in that, I'll see you on the next one, man. And see the rest of you all later. Peace. Totally. Good chat with you. See you in the next one. Hopefully. Bye.